What if I told you there's a way to make more than $1 million? I may have your curiosity. Now, what if I told you there's a way to make more than $1 million tax-free? I better have your attention. For today's video, let's talk about the Roth IRA, what it is, how to use it, and most importantly, how it can make you a tax-free millionaire. A Roth IRA is a type of individual retirement account that was named after former US Senator William Roth. The purpose of introducing the Roth IRA was to further incentivize retirement savings, especially for those with limited access to more traditional retirement accounts. So why should you consider having a Roth IRA? Well, to put it simply, they're awesome. And I mean that. Roth IRAs are awesome because of the tax advantages. The money you contribute to your Roth IRA is classified as after-tax money, which means your contributions are not tax deductible like a 401k. But how is this an advantage? Because your Roth IRA is built on after-tax contributions, the account's growth and earned dividends are tax-free upon retirement. And that is awesome when you consider how much wealth you can build with consistent contributions and proper investing. And it's that simple. A Roth IRA is an after-tax retirement account that offers tax-free earnings. Now, there are some details about contribution limits and qualifications we need to go over, but the power of a Roth really is that simple. Always keep in mind, some of the most powerful investments are the ones you can describe in one sentence. For most of us, simple is better. Let's go over those details. Contribution limits and who qualifies. Your qualification will be determined by your income, specifically your modified adjusted gross income, which is the IRS's way of saying your gross income minus some tax deductions plus other tax deductions. This is the most confusing aspect of using a Roth, so I'll include some links in the description that will walk through calculating it. For this year, if you're a single filer and make $144,000 or more, you unfortunately do not qualify. But if you're a single filer and make less than $129,000, you can contribute the full amount possible, which is $6,000 for those under 50 and $7,000 for those 50 and older. If you fall between those two income levels, you will be able to contribute, but at a lower amount. For joint filers, the income limit is $214,000. If you make less than $204,000, you can contribute the full amounts. Similar to single filers, if you fall between those income levels, you'll be able to contribute a partial amount. But we're already in the middle of December, so what about qualifying in 2023? Well, there's been some changes. Let's take a look. For single filers, the new income limit is $143,000. For partial contribution, you'll need to make between $138,000 and $153,000. And for full contribution, you have to make less than $138,000. For joint filers, your new income levels are $228,000 for your limit, between $218,000 and $228,000 for partial, and less than $218,000 for full contribution. The contribution limits are also changing. A full contribution is $6,500 for those under 50 and $7,500 for those 50 and older. One thing to note, if you have a traditional IRA in addition to a Roth, your contribution limits are the total contributions you've made across all IRA accounts. For example, let's assume you're a single filer making less than $129,000, and let's say you've already contributed $3,000 to a traditional IRA this year. The most you can contribute to your Roth IRA is $3,000, bringing the total to $6,000 for the year. To my higher income viewers, if you don't qualify for a Roth IRA, it's not the end of the world. There's somewhat of a loophole. Well, more of a workaround. That's called a backdoor Roth IRA. Essentially, you max out your traditional IRA that has no income limits and then roll over said traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. You'll pay taxes at the point of conversion, but that's a small price to pay for tax-free growth and dividends. Like other retirement accounts, there's limitations on when you can withdraw earnings from a Roth IRA without incurring penalties or having to pay taxes. Note that I emphasized earnings. The money you contribute to a Roth can be withdrawn at any time. The main rule that dictates tax and penalty-free withdrawals on earnings is the 5-year rule. If your Roth IRA is 5 years or older, you can withdraw earnings tax and penalty free if at least one of these things is true. You're at least 59 and a half, you become disabled or deceased, or you're using up to $10,000 for a first-time home purchase. But what if your Roth doesn't satisfy the 5-year rule? Does that mean touching your earnings for any reason will incur a penalty? Not necessarily. If you've owned your Roth for less than 5 years, you can withdraw earnings at the expense of paying taxes, but can still avoid penalties under these scenarios. You're 59 and a half, you're withdrawing $5,000 the year after your child's birth or adoption, you become disabled or deceased, you're using up to $10,000 to purchase a first-time home, you have qualified medical or educational expenses, you're faced with an IRS obligation, or you're a reservist. So now that you have a solid understanding of the Roth IRA, I suggest you take advantage of one if you haven't already. And if you're still not convinced the Roth is as awesome as I say it is, let me show you how it can make you a tax-free millionaire. Assuming you can make the full contribution of $6,000 to a Roth, and assuming the contribution limit stays at $6,000 forever, spread out over 12 months, that's $500 invested each month. Assuming a generous 40 years before you need to start making withdrawals, and assuming your Roth is invested 100% into the S&P 500, which has historically returned 10% a year, your Roth IRA would be worth more than $2.6 million. That's right, but not only will you have $2.6 million, that $2.6 million is tax-free. That, my friends, is the power of the Roth IRA. And I know, 40 years is a long time, but I'm telling you, your future self will absolutely thank you for that $2.6 million. I don't know many retirees that would turn down $2.6 million tax-free. Do you? It may not be quick, but with the Roth IRA and proper investing, you can become a tax-free millionaire. And that's all I have for today's video. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, you better take care of yourself, and best of luck.